Good morning, Hammers fans. It's Nick from Claret and Booze back again. Right, there have been a few more developments. Nothing too exciting, I might add, but there have been a few more developments that I'm going to relay to you shortly. Before we get going, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And look, please like the video as well, because it does tell the YouTube algorithm to sort of share it around. Either your comments, your likes, it all really helps. And it's all very much appreciated. Before I get into the news, I'm going to say, look, over the past few weeks, there's been a few channels, and I don't know why, and I'm not going to name them, but it gets very political in this fucking YouTube world. It's really weird. I mean, there's enough space for everyone, but it just strikes me that if you release something that somebody else hasn't released, they get a bit arsey about it, and I don't know why. As they say, you know, there was one released this morning, and they start with a 3-minute disclaimer saying how they're not an ITK, how they get lots of information, but they don't circulate everything because, you know, you don't want to... Well, if you're not an ITK, basically, if you want safe content that is scripted and based on an article that's already been fucking written, that you can go and read yourself, what's the point in the fucking YouTube channel? Now, we're not in the know. I'm not an ITK, but we speak to ITKs. We all do. You know, that channel in particular gets all their information from Sean Whetstone. But when I get information from Sean Whetstone, I will credit Sean Whetstone. That's what I'll do. If I get information from somebody that doesn't want to be credited because they want to remain anonymous, then you can't name your source. But the fact is, we're not in the know, we're not ITKs, but when you're reporting what somebody else has told you, you are effectively in the know by virtue of the fact that you've just been given information that other people don't know. Now, what I think is wrong, and what I think should be different about YouTube channels is that we're not Sky Sports News, we're not BBC, we're fucking fans that have got gossip. So if I get information, I'm a massive gossip, all right? If I get information and I believe it first and foremost, if I don't believe it, I won't even bother you with it. I'll just go, no, that's bollocks. That's not worth anyone's time. But if I believe it, I will come on here and I will tell you what that news is or that's what I'll do. And if that's a unique selling point, then that's a unique selling point. It strikes me, based on what some of these channels have been saying, that it is a unique selling point because they will only fucking report on something that's been reported, you know, tell you what you've already been read. Yes, we do the same as that sometimes, but if I get information, I'm going to share it with you. I will. If that's wrong and you don't like it, then that's fine, but that's what we've always done. That's what I'll always do. We don't get as much information as some. And some of these channels, they break news all the time, but it strikes me that they seem to get the ump. If it looks like you've got the jump on them with like, we rarely do breaking news, but if I get information, something juicy, I will share it with you. I will tell you. So, yes, look, that's all it is, all right? But again, you know, I've spoken to Sean Whetstone. Again, this was yesterday, actually. Yes, it was late. And he was keeping me updated throughout the day, the same as he has with the other channel as well. And he said what he said initially in the morning. He said, look, he's tried to reach out to his senior source, who we know who that is. They're not answering at the moment, and typically what that means is obviously things aren't rosy. Then when he did get a response back, he said that they were not confirming either way. They basically all they said was that David Moyes was in post temporarily. That's it. They didn't say until after the Fulham game. They didn't mention that. They just said he's in post temporarily. And they're taking time to process the information. And what they said what that generally means is, in this situation, is that they're out there talking to people. They're just not ready to tell us yet. Well, then it was confirmed. So later on in the evening, they said, right, it's confirmed. They're talking to other managers. Now, what I will share with you, which I will, because Sean's already put it on 6'2" anyway, and I can't help but think it's a wind-up, is Alan Kirbishley. So Alan Kirbishley could be coming in. Now, I don't know whether Sean was doing that to sort of poke the bear, because we know he likes to do that because he's a bastard, and he likes to wind people up. And listen, I know a lot of people don't like Sean or whatever else. Since I've got to know him, I don't mind him. He is a wind-up. But look, the guy does get it wrong at times, but what you can't take away from him, he does have really, really good contacts at the club. He does. You know, some of the information that he gets is very, very good. Really good. So, look, it is what it is. And like I say, when I get information from Sean, I will credit him with it. But he's come out and he said that it's confirmed they are looking at people. They are looking for managers. And yes, Alan Kirbishley, this was from him, and I said, you're fucking joking, ain't you? Not Kirbishley. You know, that would be a right bum move, wouldn't it? To go and get a manager that's relegated us once before. You know, a manager that suffered at the hands of a squad that basically started ignoring what he was saying towards the end of the season and started doing their own thing, as we've heard from Anton Ferdinand. Lucas Neal rounded the troops up, and they did what they wanted to do for the final part of the season, and it finished well. But that weren't anything to do with Kirbishley. That said, even Alan Kirbishley ain't scaring me away. He ain't. I don't care. Alan Kirbishley on a temporary for the last 10 games. Fucking bring it on. I don't care. Because anything, I've said this now, anything or anyone would be better than what we've got at the moment. It's 10 games. We've got loads of talent in this squad. The coaching staff would remain the same. There wouldn't be too much change. All you're doing is you're removing a bloke from the situation that is fucking, he's ruining the whole dynamic of that team. He is. Now, I know that Kirbishley isn't going to be, you know, he's Moyes plus, isn't he, in his style of football. But look at Roy Hodgson. Did you expect Roy Hodgson to come back into Palace and do exactly what he hadn't done when he was manager there before? And that was, they had like 30 shots on goal in like half an hour when he came in. Because when you get dropped into a situation, it's shit or bust, isn't it? All you got to do is you got to walk in and say, come on, boys, look, you're all great players. Go out there and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about it. We're going to go out there. We're going to attack each game. I think even the likes of Kirbishley would do that. And I think any manager that comes in now to do a recovery job is going to do the same, with the exception of maybe Sam Allardyce, who probably would come in and be pragmatic and keep us up because he's good at it. Sam Allardyce is better tactically than David Moyes. You would never have seen us concede those goals that we conceded against Newcastle under Sam Allardyce. It just wouldn't have happened because tactically he's defensive. And I'm not saying I want Allardyce, by the way. I know that's not going to go down well with many people. But I wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind if he came in for the last 10 games. It wouldn't bother me. You know, you'd be playing 2 up front. We'd be playing defensively deep, and we would be playing route 1, long ball. But we'd be having shots on target. He'd be playing in a way, he'd be getting supply into the strikers. That's what he'd do. He wouldn't be playing Danny Ings up front on his own. He just wouldn't do that. So, yes. So, look, there is movement. Whether or not anything is going to happen before the Fulham game, we don't know. But the facts that the club have come out and they've said what they've said, then yes. Now, in terms of future managers, so forget the interims. That could be anyone. You know, I still think Kirbishley's a wind-up. I think Sean's winding us all up. I don't think he knows. I think he's just he's being a git. But look, if it was, fine. I'll take it. I won't be happy with it, but I won't moan for the final 10 games. I'll just be happy that Moyes is gone. But long term, I am told that they're looking at the likes of Rodgers. Now, this is from a few sources now. Rodgers and Potter. We know about Potter. There are a few concerns about Potter now from certain members of the boardroom. Not all of them. They're split. So this is one of the other issues that we've got now. The board, there are like 12 people on the board or more. They all get a vote. And the board are pretty much split on all aspects of this club at the moment. So, you know, this is probably one of the reasons why we think there's dithering going on is because no fucker can agree on anything. You know, everyone has to get a vote in for it to be passed. And that's just, it's just made our pain even worse. But Potter's definitely on the agenda. There are some concerns about the fact that, you know, did he only do well at Brighton because of that amazing infrastructure behind him? We don't know. And then obviously Rodgers, they like as well. Postecoglou is another one that we like. So what this means is when you look at that, if those are the names that we're talking about, if we're talking about Rodgers, we're talking about Postecoglou, and we're talking about Potter, if we're talking about managers like that, then what that proves is that we're looking for a progressive manager next, and I'll take it. Whoever they manage to convince to come and work under that little fucking weirdo, you know, little son of a... whatever idiot decides to come and work for him, I think they're going to be a progressive manager. So it's all good. I can't make any promises that I believe that Moyes isn't going to be here for Fulham. I think he probably will because, like I say, they are slow. I don't know whether even to sack him, they've got to get everyone on board. I mean, that could be another reason. If before they make a big decision like that, sacking him, they've got to get everyone to vote on it. That could be a reason why it's taking so long to get rid of him. But yes, I do think he's going to be gone. I think he's going to be gone whatever happens with Fulham. I think they've made their minds up. They're talking to people now. It's all down to who they can get in and in what time frame. If they can get someone in today or tomorrow, Moyes is gone. You know, because if Sullivan actually manages to negotiate with a manager and they say, yeah, I'll join, because there are very few people that want to come and work for Sullivan. I think this is one of the main issues. I think he knows that. He knows how difficult it is for him to recruit a manager. So, and they're obviously very, very against. They must be very against getting a caretaker manager in from within the club. Why? I don't know, because that's what I think they should do. Rather than getting Kirbishley in, why not just let the backroom staff take over? They've got leaders there that could do it. You know, why not? But they're obviously dead against it, so they're not going to do that until they've got a manager in place. But one thing is for certain, we're not getting our permanent manager next. If and when David Moyes goes, we're going to be getting a temporary manager. So that's what you got to think. If Kirbishley is announced, you ain't got to lose your shit because it's temporary. It's just temporary. And we are going to be moving on in the summer. So yes, it looks like there is definitely movement. They have made their minds up on David Moyes. That much is certain. They've made their minds up. They've had enough of David Moyes. We've not heard that before. They've been backing him. They're not backing him now. They are no longer backing David Moyes. All right. So yes, I think this saga is about to be over. I don't think it's relevant. I don't think what happens against Fulham is relevant. Yes, if we go and beat them 12-0 and we look amazing, it might change things. It might ruffle a few feathers, but that ain't going to happen, is it? You know, he's going to go there and play for the draw. So it's going to be another shit show. Even if we win, we'll just scrape it. So that's not going to save him. So yeah, it might be too little too late. It might prove to be too little too late. But you got to try. You got to gamble. Better late than never. Get him out of the club. Fuck him off. And if it's going to be Kirbishley, that ain't even going to scare me. Bring him in, whatever. For 10 games, I can take it. And like I say, I think it's different in that scenario. When you get brought in to do a recovery job, it's different to when you're building a project and when it's all on you. Kirbishley can just come in and have some fun now. You know, he's spent a lot of time out of management. Has he managed since he last managed us? I don't know. But all he's got to do is just come in and put his arms around a few people and just G them up, you know, and lean on the coaching staff that know them all. Pick the team, give them a pep talk, send them out. That's it. That's all he's got to do for the remainder of the season. But look, that's it from me. The minute I hear anything definitive, like, yes, it is. I've been told they're looking at Kirbishley, but I don't believe it. But the minute I hear that there is anything definitive, as I said at the start of the show, when I hear something, I will tell you. If I end up being wrong, I don't fucking care. It don't bother me. It doesn't bother me because I don't make things up. I'm only relaying to you what I get back. All right? So, yes, if that's wrong, if that's stupid, that's fine. But I can't help it. I'm a big gossip. So that's what I shall continue to do. Come on, you irons.